Hey there, welcome back to Digital Marketing for Coaches and Consultants. I am your host, Dr. Terry Levine, and I'm glad you've joined me. Today, we're going to talk about how to make more money by going to the beach. Really not kidding. I want to talk today about burnout. Now, it did happen to me when I was CEO of a national healthcare company many, many years ago. And I actually find it happens to almost all entrepreneurs because down deep, there is stress and anxiety for many entrepreneurs. And I do believe that a cause of burnout for entrepreneurs is the constant social media posting and scrolling and sending and responding to DMs and responding to clients and doing client calls and then commenting all over social media. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Literally just saying all of that can cause me burnout by itself. Well, I eliminated burnout years and years ago from my life, from my work, and I actually make a lot more money and I have more ease than I've ever had and more joy. So, how does that happen? Well, and I sound weird. I spend more time at the beach. Now, if you don't like the beach or you don't live near a beach, substitute something you love instead. I happen to love the beach. Now, while this might not sound logical, I can tell you for sure the less time I spend online, the more time I spend without the internet and sort of chilling at the beach, the more creative ideas that I have for my business. No stress, no anxiety, zero burnout. There is a great book on creativity by author John Cleese. And in the book, he says the greatest killer of creativity is interruption. So when I'm at the beach, I start thinking about unique content, better offers, how to better serve my client family members. So by the time that I'm literally back at my computer, back at my desk, I'm happily creating content and serving my clients. The few hours that I spend at the beach, that leads me towards a lot more creative ideas. I actually think of myself as a content creator, not a business consultant, not a coach, not an entrepreneur. My job is to create content that will serve my audience every single day. So if you're listening to this podcast, then you're also in the content creation business. Finding ways to enhance your creative skills needs to be a priority for you. What I actually find fascinating is coaches, consultants, content creators constantly talk about hustle and grind and cars and seven figures and bigger houses and more followers. All of that diminishes creativity, all of which work to diminish your creative powers. The creative component of your business is the most important aspect. And that component is positioning, content, and offers. All of these require creative solutions that increase your overall sales and therefore increase the amount of money you make. So just to be clear, this way of thinking isn't for everyone. There are some folks who prefer to hustle their way to making money by sending a bunch of DMs and pumping out more low-quality content, hoping the engagement gods will eventually send them some traction in the DMs and comments and getting on more calls. They're willing to otherwise exhaust rather than empower their creative engines just to squeeze out a few extra short-term bucks. So I call these folks the non-life enjoyers, and I have nothing but respect for their hustle and grind. Then you have a small minority of people who prefer to play the game by working not harder, smarter, creatively. We're the entrepreneurs of the game. There's about 8,000 of us who have either figured out how to leverage our creative powers to build leveraged businesses that allow us to generate more cash flow in the long term while spending more time at the pool or at the beach, and all without putting our mental and physical health at risk. So here's the bottom line. If you're a coach, consultant, content creator, personal brand, solopreneur, you must realize your most powerful skill is your creativity. It's where the genius truly operates in you. Creativity is a weird machine. You can't be forced. And every time you force it by trying to pump out more content, send even more DMs, do even more work when you're mentally tired or otherwise brute force it, you're actually exhausting this part of your brain. I never feel like I'm working because my work looks like the opposite of hustle. I can be quietly listening to music, yet working on my creativity, on how to best serve my clients. I am for sure enjoying my life, not hustling and grinding. Anyway, if you're someone who wishes to make more money from your business without the burnout, and if spending more time at the beach or by the pool or making more of the green stuff sounds good, join me and the other entrepreneurs at the beach or poolside. Go to our Facebook group, which is Entrepreneurs with Terry Levine, and join our community of professional life enjoyers. I'll see you there. I'm headed to the beach. Bye now.